actually, I watched the video that UFC put out on that, and they said that your heart stopped a couple times.
Yeah, my heart stopped 3 times that night. That's when I knew God, saved my life and he had a plan for me.
That's nuts.
The craziest thing when I left the hospital, I escaped it, and I didn't even know I died that night. I just knew I did something bad, and so
You ran away from the hospital.
yeah.
Oh, wow, and you didn't know about all that shit.
No, I just knew it was something bad happened because I was in handcuffs, and I was able to break them, because I still felt so powerful from, the drugs.
Wearing a T-shirt that says "Never Made." I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
Welcome back to the largest podcast in the world. My name is Sped. I'm your host with Never Made Weight. Today we got a special guest. Today we're kicking off the new year very, very strong. We got Terrance McKinney in the house, better known as T-Rex. Terrance, how you doing?
What's up, Sped? We cooking. 3 fights this year, 2 pay-per-views. Some of the best ones of the year. So it was an honor to be able to compete on both those cards and the last ESPN card ever. So I was honored they chose me to be on, and we put on a sick fight, had a blast. Didn't go our way, but it's what we love to do.
Bro, they put you on the best cards, honestly. I think it's because of how intense you are right off the bat. You know, most of your fights end in round one. 23, I was there. International Fight Week, I was there. I met you International Fight Week in the parking lot of an undisclosed location.
Yeah,
Who is this? Who we got here today?
you guys, this is Millie.
Millie. Hi, Millie.
See, Matt ain't giving her attention. She's like, hello. Look at her.
How does it feel being a dad and traveling so much?
I'll be missing these guys, but when I get a break, I'll be happy as hell.
Right now, you're in Orlando, right? But you're
Yeah.
originally from Spokane.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, I know a lot about your early life and your early competitive life. I watched a couple videos on you. Before we get into that, I want to know, how did you get to Orlando after growing up in Spokane?
Crazy story. So, uh, after I got done training Spokane, I started training with Kevin Holland. He got me to meet my new manager, Oren. So it kind of all worked out. So I started training here for a little bit in Texas. And then yeah, I didn't like it too much. It was hot as hell, and then it was just hard. We traveled a bunch, so I just wanted something structured and something I can go a gym I can go to right down the street. You know what I mean?
Who
So
else trains with you at that gym?
huh?
Who else trains with you at that gym?
Well, it was me, Holland, and then just Kevin Fernandez, he was 25-pounder, then a couple random guys, and JP. JP was beast, he's my boy. Uh who else? But we're to go up to Main Street Boxing in Houston. They got a bunch of good guys there. Rafa Garcia used to train there. Derek Lewis trains there. So, but they got a lot of up and coming studs that train there as well. But when it was time to move to Orlando, I just prayed about it. Like, God, wherever I'm supposed to go, just have the team reach out, and and I'll know when it's time when God speak to me. And then end up randomly, like when I was thinking about a gym, I started hearing Fusion. I was like, what the hell is Fusion? And I was like, even though I've been there before, I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, Fusion. And then next thing I know, Mike Davis hit me up, Phil Rowe hit me up out of nowhere, randomly. They're like, man, you should train here, man. Come check us out. And then I was like, Fusion? I was like, after that, I knew it was a sign. I was like, that's God speaking. So I talked to people, my family that I pray with, and they're like, yeah, man, that's where you're supposed to go. And then a week later, I packed everything up, moved down in Florida, and it's been the best decision I ever made.
How many years ago was that?
I've been here now for a year and a few months.
So everybody's back in Spokane though, right? Like your fam. I know you went through a lot of stuff to get to this point. You were a dedicated athlete from the beginning. You went through some stuff in college. How was it to bounce back from that? Like, shit, did you feel like you had to start over? How was that transition?
I just wanted to just write my name over. So that was just a restart for me because uh, like in the Bible says, and a good name is greater than rubies. So like, uh, I just had to make sure whatever I did, it outshined the bad. You know what I mean? That's something I just live by. You know what I mean? Because like I said, your name is everything. So after that, I was a little disappointed. Watched the video because I was looking like a crackhead and shit. I'm like, fuck. And then I ended up getting another offer to Southern State College, and I was like, I'm just gonna make this one count. And I ended up being ranked number 2 in the nation, uh, placing at the RMAC tournament, taking second, and yeah, it was looking good. And then like some court stuff happened because of the situation. I ended up having to stay in jail for 10 days the
Wow.
week of nationals, and I was
Oh
sick
shit.
after that. I was sick. I never been so mad in my life. And then and I was like, fuck, that cut me deep. So I dropped out of that school because they were mad about that situation happened. And I ended up going to Notre Dame College. Ended up beating this guy named Jawan that took second at nationals D2. And then they wanted me to redshirt because they saw how good I was. They were thinking about the team. They're like, oh yeah, we can get another one next year. And because Jawan's a grade ahead of me, so they're like, yeah, let him do his thing. And now I'll sit out a year. And I was like, hell no. I only came just to win the national title because I was going to start fighting after that. Because I knew if you have a national title, you can just get better paid. Like from Bellator, you can fight there all over. So I was just trying to make my name good enough to make money right off the rip. So once they said I was going to register, I was like, well, fuck it then. I'm just going to drop out. I dropped out and I started jujitsu for like 6 months. And I was like super good at it, just naturally, really fast. Uh, and after that, yeah, but without God though, and I always just lean on God because I always knew like, like with anything in life, like when you lose, like it isn't over. You know what I mean? The same when I used to go to tournaments, like you lose, you get a chance to battle back to third. You get a chance to do it again. You know what I mean? Like you can lose a guy 1 week, and that's just how I took a life. It's the same way. In life, 1 week, then the next thing you know, like you're on top of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. But you knew that you were gonna transition to fighting when you were in college.
Yeah. Yeah. After that near death experience, and I saw all this crazy stuff, I just knew God was trying to talk to me and tell me that I needed to fight. Because of my trip, I became like one of the baddest dudes on the planet because I fought all these like super galactic people and I was just running through them.
For those who don't know about what happened to you in 2016, could you sum it up in like 1 minute?
Yeah, I can do that. So right before college, once I got that offer to D2 and I thought it was over, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate, do drugs one more time. I'm drinking. I end up doing a valid acid and over eighth of shrooms, fighting 6 cops, doing $3,000 worth of damage to this girl's house. And yeah, and I injured a couple cops, so I thought like my life was over. And then like I said, God was able to make a way because I never got in trouble with the law. So I got to do this program, did 250 hours of community service. Uh, and then I spoke at a bunch of high schools in my area and middle schools. And yeah, we're able to just flip it all around.
Now fast forward 2025, you have a record for the fastest knockout at lightweight.
Yes, sir. Fast knockout lightweight history and second fastest ever.
13 fights in the UFC, probably in a short time, I would say, right? 13 fights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to pee. I got more fights than to people that have been in there forever.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that. And then so but as I said, your story is different because you had your head on your shoulders right before that situation happened. Like you were working hard before that situation happened. So you take that, and actually I watched the video that UFC put out on that, and they said that your heart stopped a couple times.
Yeah, my heart stopped 3 times that night. That's when I knew God, like, saved my life and he had a plan for me.
That's nuts.
The craziest thing when I left the hospital, I escaped it, and I didn't even know I died that night. I just knew I did something bad. And so,
You ran away from the hospital.
yeah.
Oh wow. And you didn't know about all that shit.
No, I just knew it was something bad happened because I was in handcuffs, and I was able to break them, like, because I still felt so powerful from, like, the drugs.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. They didn't highlight that part.
Yeah. Yeah, they just highlight the main part of it.
Yeah, that's a crazy detail, but I'm glad everything got worked out for you. I mean, again, you had your head on your shoulders before that, and I'm sure that was all the more reason to work even harder and for a goal. Walk me through the beginning of your UFC career, how you feel about yourself. Because look, when a fan watches you, they see all these fights end in the round one. Like honestly, there's we need to know something about the Terrance McKinney mind state, you know?
It's kinda like, oh, if you really know me, that's just kinda like person I was. I always brought the heat, even in wrestling. I had 146 wins and 100 and like I think 6 pins and most of them were in the first round.
Wow. Okay, so this was in wrestling too, this pattern.
Yeah, I just like to bring the pressure, and yeah, I like to overwhelm people. I kind of take that back though. It's just because I wrestle. That's just always how I was with kind of aggressive sports. I like to put the pressure on people fast, and I always was strong for my weight class.
Well, you grew up a wrestler, so that is your strong point. You're not even being able to really showcase that really if you think about it, because your fights finish fast. So would you say that getting into the UFC has morphed you into more of a striker than a wrestler?
Nah, I'm better at grappling and wrestling for sure.
What is the mind state whenever the fight is about to start? Are you like what's going on in your head? Are you trying to get out of there fast?
No, sometimes that's just how it happened. But this last fight, uh, I was getting tired in warm up because I had a bad weight cut. I was like
Wow.
180, but I don't want to make no excuses. So so it don't matter on that.
Yeah.
But I was 185 the week before, and then I was getting tired in the warm ups. I'm like, oh fuck, this ain't good. I'm gonna have to. And in my head, I'm like, dude, I gotta smoke this motherfucker in the first round. I'm just getting calm as hell. That's what I do. I just focus on just getting so freaking calm, like getting my heart rate as low as possible. That's what I focus on. And then I pray, and then I just tell myself positive affirmation, just like I'd be like, "You're too fast, you're too strong, you're too sharp, you're too skilled." And then yeah, they say fight, and I'm already locked, and I'm in that mode after that.
You ever use those positive affirmations in your daily life or no?
Yeah, mostly just for my kids though.
For your kids.
Hmm.
Okay, I asked Chris Taco Padilla this question. I'm gonna ask you too. You
Mm,
ever feel bad whenever you finish somebody?
nah.
What's the mindset? When you look at that person sleeping, what do you think?
It depends how bad it is. If it's bad, I won't celebrate.
Yeah,
But if it's not that bad, then yeah, I'll celebrate. I feel a little bit bad. Depends on the level of slumpage.
yeah. Well,
But
Chris Padilla said that he doesn't feel bad because he knows that if he's on the receiving end, everybody that knows him is gonna celebrate him sleeping.
yeah, no, that exactly. The If I see your like legs twitching and shit, I won't celebrate till I know that you're okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just kind of how I was raised, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like fucking people up. So like, ask anyone at the gym, like I like scrapping.
yeah. And when it comes to sparring, have you had to chill it out a little bit as you go into your career, grow into your
Yeah, I do. Yeah, cause like I realize like I'm powerful and I can hurt people. So and then yeah, and I needed training partners the whole camp. So I just stay at a level where we're both safe. You know what I mean?
yeah. And for those who don't know like how a training camp goes, can you talk about like the money you spend and what you need to secure for a
Well,
camp?
Uh, it just depends. It's like 5% to the gym, 5% to management, for me at least. And uh uh then I pay Lee, and then yeah, I gave my training partner some money that way he can get his visa. That's the kind of person my advice to you struggling, you need some help. I'm gonna help you, especially if you're my boy. Like you sacrificing yourself for me, Like most of these guys got regular jobs and they're scrapping with me as hard as possible. You know what I mean? So for
Yeah.
my boy, I helped him. You know what I mean? Because I know he's sacrificing his hours of work and stuff, his body for me. So it was
Yeah.
not even a question to help him out.
That's the unrecognized heroes of the fight game, right? Sparring partners.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're in the gym, how open are you guys with game plan? Because I know you guys have full different UFC fighters in there. Was the same group of coaches coach everyone, and is there like a collective game plan when it comes to your gym, or is it different for everyone, and how secretive is it?
It's not, and it's like we all like they really just tell you, so only you know the game plan, and then they tell your sparring partners what to do. So that way, I'm seeing the exact looks that I need to for the fight. But sometimes, like I said, for me, this last fight also what made me mad when he said he was gonna kill me, and as the nigga I am, like that makes that I look calm, but out in my head I was like, bet, let's see. Soon
Yeah.
as the fight started, he was backing up. I was like, oh yeah, bet. I thought he was gonna kill me. You already backing up. So I was like, bet. And then every time I hit him, he was looking scared. I was like, yeah, who you gonna kill? But he ended up winning, but still though, he stayed tough. But I know he didn't have fun. I know he was like, fuck, this
No,
motherfucker's
for
tough.
sure, no.
Yeah,
Because you unloaded on him.
I did.
You
I tried to
unloaded.
smoke his shit.
Yeah, you unloaded on him. Then he came back, he got it was just that elbow?
Nah, the punch hurt worse. It was more I was just super tired to be honest. Yeah. Super bad adrenaline dump. But the elbow got me in the eye. That's when my shit was twitching.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It got
Oh,
me like right now. I was like, oh fuck. Like, shit.
yeah.
But it didn't rock me or anything, but it did have my eye like twitching
Let me
out.
ask you a question. Whenever you're taking the hits and the ref is saying, "I'm gonna stop it, I'm gonna stop it," like, that part that it took you a little bit while to get up, is that being tired, being disoriented, or what? And what are you thinking during that moment?
No, I was just tired right there and I was just waiting till my eye like stopped tweaking out. I didn't want to stand up and just have my eye like tweaking and get punched up.
Were you worried that it was actually messed up, the eye, like the actual eyeball?
Nah, nah. I knew my eyebrow was good, but it was just like hard to keep it open because it was like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when you dehydrate, sometimes your eyes start twitching.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's how it felt.
yeah. And then after the fight, though, like, honestly, whenever the fight ended, I was just happy with, like, the fight, bro. Like, I was just happy with what we just saw. That's why I
Yeah.
DM'd you. I'm like, "Bro, you're a G for that." When I saw you unload, like, it was so obvious. I'm like, "This guy's just trying to take him out right here, bro." Like, he didn't like, you were throwing everything right there.
Anytime I touched him, I could tell it was rattling his brain. Some of them might have woke him up. I just could have chomped down a little bit.
Yeah.
Come here. What's wrong, huh? Aw, she's sad right now.
What's wrong?
She just want my attention.
She's ignoring me today, man.
She happy now that she in the camera. She likes seeing her face.
Yeah. That's so cute, man. Terrence, whenever
You can say it. You
can I
can
talk
say
to
it. She's
mom?
good. I'm about to just set her up. So she can hold on, pause.
No, she's so cute, man.
Yeah, I'm on daddy duties right now.
The boy you said is 2?
My son's 3.
Your son is 3?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, what do you want for your kids as far as like lifestyle goes? Would you want them to be fighters or like wrestlers? Jiu-jitsu?
I'll make sure they know how to take care of himself. But for me, I hope my son do like baseball or something. He's a handsome young man. I hope he does something where he don't got to hit. But I will make sure he's able to defend himself and he got to wrestle. It just builds character, bro.
T-Rex, you love this stuff? You love this sport?
Yeah, I do.
What do you love about it?
Um, I just like that it's not like team oriented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like it's just the crowd. I love the crowd. Uh, I love the lights. It just really feel like you're in a video game. Like it's like then like I like adrenaline stuff. I'm intense, bro. I like intense stuff. I like when you play in blackjack, you got a crazy hand and then you like, oh shoot, if I lose this, it's gonna hurt my soul.
Yeah.
And then you hit. Yeah, see, it kind of like that. I always like those kind of feelings. Like you're like, it's
So,
insane.
what are you doing outside of fighting, like to feed that adrenaline?
Uh, maybe playing video games. Sometimes go to casino. Um, and then other than that, just be training.
How much has your outlook on life changed since you've had kids?
Uh, Not too much the same. Just more vigilant on how I talk or how I move. You know what I mean? Cause you'd be surprised with how focused and like sharp kids are and what they pick up.
So just being a good example.
Yeah, and then really just like the love that you never thought you can give. Like the love they bring out of you is just it's a
Yeah.
different kind of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Terrence, I know you're on daddy duty. I'm just gonna ask you two more questions.
No,
Uh,
you good, man.
I have to ask you about the eye pokes, man. What do you
Yeah.
what do you think they should do about it? Because obviously affecting a lot of fights now.
Honestly, it should be a point right away. You know what I mean? Cause I know a bunch of fighters with zero eye pokes. You know what I mean? Like and if especially if the way like that last eye poke and Tom's fight was when he dug in after it hit, that's automatically like DQ. He should have lost, in my opinion. Like, but if it's like a real poke or something, in a moment I was like, nah, he's still no. But then as I watched a couple times, like, dog, he dug in after he hit his eye. That's automatically should be a DQ.
So
Especially, but if it's not a fight ender, just take a point. But if it's like that, DQ. Yeah, it
I
stops the fight.
Chris Lieben said the same thing. I had a video of Chris Lieben like last month, and he was talking about how keeping the hand out is like a sign of timidity, and you shouldn't even be allowed to stand like that.
Yeah, but they're on it now. I think they're starting to at least.
Are we gonna get a hello from you today?
She a little tired, little baby.
What time did you wake up early, huh? Like 6.
Dude, we all wake up early. I think because like my mom was in the military and they just inherited. Oh, I wake up at like 7 every day, maybe earlier. Yeah, but like I said with the eye pokes, yeah, 1 point. If it makes the fight not able to continue, DQ. She trying to grab that.
That's hilarious. Alright, okay, Millie, we're just gonna ask one more question if
One
that's
more
okay with
question.
you.
Okay.
Give me a thumbs up if that's okay.
It's okay. Let's do
Okay,
it.
alright, cool. Okay, lastly, did you know that judges have no idea how many significant strikes are thrown?
I figured they wouldn't. Like, come on now. No one could calculate how many strikes are thrown. And then well they can maybe from the outside, but even then, I bet it's kind of hard to track. You can only just give a guesstimate, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Unless they got like an AI system counting the strikes, then
they
yeah,
say that
maybe.
there's a kid in the back, there's some intern or something, he has 2 buttons,
Yeah.
clicks every time somebody strikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And basically they said they don't know, by they, I mean Chris Lieben, because Chris Lieben's a judge. He's a ref too. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about recent judging? Are you happy with the judging in the UFC? I mean, you never have to deal with it, honestly, but
I
when
just
you
know
watch
like
fight.
I've seen too many people fucked over. That's what it is for me too, bro. Even if I do go 3 rounds, I would at one point at a certain amount, I'll try to fucking end it, especially in the third round or second. I'm always gonna try to end the fight because like I've seen some blatant like people that lost and that they got the win. That that might bring my uncool because I'm usually cool and I handle the loss good. But if I know I won and person get their hand won, I'll be sick. Yeah, I'm not going for that shit.
Okay, well, Terrence, thank you so much for your time, bro. It was
Uh-huh.
good meeting you at UFC 317. Thank you for doing the show. Thank you, Millie. Terrence, is there something you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I want to say Happy New Year's to everyone. Happy holidays. Be safe and I pray that sped and this platform continues to grow. You guys get the subscribers that you're hoping for, and I pray that everyone finds Jesus and just like start this year out a bang, and I hope it ends great. And Happy New Year's, you guys.
Thank you, bro. A good 2026 for all of us. Thank you for the well wishes and thank you for your time. Guys, thank you for watching the largest podcast in the world. My name is Sped. This is T-Rex. This is Millie.
Lily, say bye.
Bye.
Wearing a t-shirt that says never made. I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.